Why, in your opinion, is the development of young leaders important?
Well, years come and go, don't they? Decades come and they pass, and I think that it is an ongoing responsibility of the church to continue to disciple and to teach and to train and to equip. And it was extremely important 85 years ago for them to teach and train young, upcoming leaders within the body of Christ to be who they are supposed to be biblically in the work of Christ, and that continues on today. I'm glad that we have the focus. So, as I said earlier, there is a lot being said today about leadership development, and that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to be doing that because, quite frankly, if we just assume that people are going to naturally develop as wise, discerning, trustworthy leaders, that becomes our downfall, because it doesn't just happen. You have so many things that are working against you. You have the flesh that's constantly working against the church. Collectively, we all struggle against the flesh. And the flesh does not want to participate or undergird or support godly leadership. The principles, the characteristics that are required to be a godly leader. The flesh is constantly trying to eat away at the momentum of a person's life who is trying to do just that, being a godly leader. So you've got the flesh that's constantly nagging our students. And we understand that. I mean, we've been there before, right? So our need to disciple them and to train them and to educate them and to support them and encourage them and be an example for them is extremely important, because we have to help, in a sense, protect them from themselves in the same way that we have people in our lives protecting us from ourselves. But not only do you have the flesh working against you, I mean, you've got the entire momentum of culture that is trying to pull them down a different path and trying to set before them examples of any number of things. And as we're focusing primarily on leadership, we certainly know that there are all kinds of examples the world is setting in front of our people in terms of what leadership in their mind looks like, what it ought to be like. Just one example that comes to my mind in terms of the way the world is setting up examples for our students is and realizing it's for entertainment and everything else, but nonetheless it still feeds into the cultural perspectives of our day. But you have shows like The Apprentice. Now, The Apprentice isn't as big of a show now as it once was, but when you've got a man like Donald Trump, who is a very successful and wealthy businessman that sets up a show, and he uses this show primarily in the earlier years of the program to find key leaders to run significant projects for his companies. And what they do is they set them in a context where they have to stab each other in the back, do things that are dishonest, do things that are perceived as self-centered, egotistical, arrogant, prideful, and whoever can be the dirtiest fighter, as long as you win the day, that's okay. So the ends justify the means. And the person sitting in front of Donald Trump, receiving the car and the paycheck and the position, is the person who happened to be able to claw his way or her way to the top the fastest. That's the kind of picture that oftentimes is celebrated in our culture. So we're working against that as well. The church has got to set in front of our people a different picture, the picture that the Bible gives us. So we have a tremendous amount of momentum we've got to work against. There's a huge current that is taking us down one particular canal, and we have the responsibility of swimming against that current and getting our people into a different canal to be carried by a different current of the Spirit of God to do really what we're supposed to do. If we don't do it, shame on us. And then we have no reason to wonder or scratch our heads at the condition of the evangelical Christian community in America, because quite frankly, we've just assumed a lot of stuff, and we haven't done our job in training people.